Welcome, dear students. The topic of this session is the names English and England. I hope and expect by the end of this session you will be able to understand what is the origin of the names English and England. Well, my dear students, if we trace the history, the Celts called their Germanic conquerors Saxons indiscriminately, probably because they had had their first contact with Germanic peoples through the Saxon raids on the coast. Otherwise, the Germanic conquerors were, not only Saxons is one of the types of them, one of the, you may call, tribes out of them. Anyways, early Latin writers followed the Celtic usage and generally called the Germanic inhabitants of England Saxons. If you look at the screen, you can notice the spelling Saxons. This is how it was pronounced. And the land, Saxonia. But soon the terms Angli and Anglia, they occur beside Saxons and refer not to the Angles individually, but to the West Germanic tribes generally. Well, my dear students, Ethelbert, King of Kent, is styled Rex Anglorum by Pope Gregory in year 601, if we trace the history of the land. And a century later, Bede called his history Historia Ecclesiastica Gentis Anglorum. This is one of the first available records of the history of those times. In time, however, Angli and Anglia became the usual terms in Latin texts to refer to the people of this area. From the beginning, however, writers in the vernacular never call their language anything but Englisc. This is what is English today. The word is derived from the name Angles, that is of Old Angle, but is used without distinction for the language of all the invading tribes who came here. In the same manner, the land and its people are early called Anglesen, if you notice the word Anglesen, Anglekin or race of Angles. This is what it meant. And this is the common name until after the Danish period. Actually, it is from somewhere about year 1000, England, that is the land of Angles, begins to take its place. So, the term England is introduced. The name English is thus older than the name England. The name English, from Englisc, from Angles, it came earlier than the name of the place itself, that is England. That is the land of Angles. It is not easy to say why England should have taken its name from the Angles. Probably, a desire to avoid confusion with the Saxons who remained on the continent and the early supremacy of the Anglian kingdoms were the predominant factors that played a role in determining the usage of the terms both England and English. So, this is how the terms English and England both, came into existence, and they are still used till today.